Hi, welcome to Chris Cook for You Too. Today I'm coming to you from a different area of my home. I'm sitting in my dining room area because I want to first discuss with you. I know we're moving into the holiday season. Upcoming is Thanksgiving, and I wanted to prepare the meal for you. Perhaps there's some things that I'm going to have on my table that you would like to have on your table, but you may not be well at preparing that particular dish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this segment for 4 days. Every day I'm going to cook probably one or two in each segment, different side dishes or a main meat for my Thanksgiving table. And what I will do is I'll start with the further out things that you can prepare way ahead of time and put it in the refrigerator so that you can have it for your Thanksgiving table. Now there's a lot of dishes that you can prepare ahead of time so that you won't be so boggled down on Thanksgiving Day that you don't get a chance to entertain or get a chance to enjoy your guests as well as the football games that will possibly be on that day. So what I'm going to start with is I'm going to cook something called cabbage leaves, and I know that a lot of people are not familiar with that, but that was substitute for the collard greens that's going to be on my table. And I'll probably do the sweet potato pies, just the mixture for the sweet potato pies, because that can be done way ahead of time. You do not have to wait until the day of and then do it. For this year, Thanksgiving in my home, I'm going to do a buffet style meal, which means my entire table will be with food, and everything that I'm going to have on my table is something that I have or will share with you during this holiday season. Now, I have prepared to cook for my Thanksgiving. Of course, we will have Old Tom, which is the turkey. We will have spiral ham as well as a crown rib roast. I will prepare that in front of you if you're not familiar with that particular dish. I'm going to do cabbage leaves, which will substitute for the collard greens. I'm going to do macaroni and cheese, deviled eggs. Of course, we will have dressing, corn on the cob. I like whole berry cranberry sauce, so we will have that along with dinner rolls and a variety of cakes and pies. And you must have the sweet potato pie and something to represent the pumpkin. And in this case, I've chosen a pumpkin roll. So there's going to be a lot of dishes that's going to be on my Thanksgiving buffet table. I do expect to have a lot of company. So I'm going to get started in this segment, and it will be part 1 through 4 leading up to Thanksgiving Day, when I will prepare my turkey. This year, I do want to let you know I'm not going to brine my turkey because I chose butterball, and a lot of times I do go with butterball turkeys. But I think that this is going to be a very good time for us to share in just knowledge. If it's something you want to see me prepare or something that you're certain about, please just drop me an email. And I have gotten a multitude of emails asking me to prepare chicken and dressing. So I think that turkey and dressing is right along those lines. So that's going to be the main focus of my buffet table. So I'm going to get started with just doing the cabbage leaves, like I told you, and then the mixture for the sweet potato pie. And we'll continue and run this for 4 days up to Thanksgiving Day. Okay, now we're over at the sink, and I just want to show you what I'm talking about when I'm talking about cabbage leaves. These are cabbage leaves. If you look at these, it's the outer leaves of your cabbage. Now, for the sake of time, I've already washed these. I've already frozen some maybe about a month ago, and I just had these fresh ones out so I could show you how this is done. You take 3 or 4 of the cabbage leaves, you roll them together, and they're just like collards. They're the same thickness as collards, and you just slice them down. Okay, you go all the way down until you get to the core, and then you're going to stop and you're going to throw the core parts away. If there's any leaves down by the core, you can take them off to use them. Now, you have these long rolls, so you can just cut your roll in half so it won't be so long. Okay? Take them, put them in your container. Now, you will wash them just like you would wash cabbage. You will wash them 3 times, which is relatively what I did. Sometimes it only takes like about twice for these because they're outer leaves and they're all together. You would wash them the same way you would do collards. You would do everything the same way you would do collards. It's just one difference in the cooking. Now, these cabbage leaves, we're going to walk over to the stove and I'm going to put them on. Okay? So let's go over to the stove. Now, as I told you in this segment, I'm going to be doing the greens and the cabbage leaves, and I'm going to be doing the sweet potatoes. So, here is just some bacon ends. Okay? It's regular bacon ends. And because I have so many cabbages, I'm going to put them in and start to fry them. No grease is in the pot. It's only the bacon ends. And I'm going to use this grease. This is the only difference in cooking the cabbage leaves and in cooking collard greens. Because we do put, some people put bacon pieces in it, some people put salt pork, some people put neck bones, you know, smoked ham hocks, whatever it is that you want. But we're going to use just these bacon pieces for the cabbage leaves. Now, cabbage leaves are very cheap. Your cabbage is running you under $1 a pound, probably about 55-60 cents a pound, something like that. The cabbage leaves, if you're buying them separate, if they think it's rabbit food, it's running you like 10 cents a pound. If they know that it's cabbage, sometimes they bill it as cabbage, but you're only doing the leaves, you're not doing the entire head, so it's not going to cost you a lot. So you want to kind of cook up your bacon. Turn the stove up just a little bit. And I'm going to let that fry up just a little bit. And to that, I'm going to add 2 other ingredients, which is going to be bell peppers that I've already chopped up and some onion that I've already chopped up. So what you're going to cook your cabbage leaves with, and as you can see, I have 2 bags sitting over here that I pre-froze a while back, and I'm just going to use them because for the sake of the time, when I get the cabbages or greens or anything like that, I just go ahead and blanch them and put them in my freezer until I'm ready to use them. So that's exactly what I had done with this because I knew I was going to be cooking it for Thanksgiving. So we have the bacon ends, and to the bacon ends, I'm going to add some green pepper. Now, this is because I'm cooking so many, you see a lot of green pepper here. You normally, if you're cooking like for a family of 4 to 6, you don't need but maybe a half of green pepper, and you would need a half of onion and just a little bit of your bacon pieces. So the grease is what I'm going to use in order to, the grease or the fat from the bacon is what I'm using to continue to fry the green pepper. Now, I don't use, green pepper has a very strong taste and I don't use it in a lot of my cooking foods, but with these cabbage leaves, it is very good. And if you follow the instructions that I give you for cabbage leaves, you're going to end up liking cabbage leaves better than you do your collards or any other kind of green, because it's quicker to wash, it's quicker to cut up, and just put in the pot. Now, as that cooks up, I'm going to add my onion. Okay. Now, I'm going to allow this just to saute up for a little while. And when it sautés up, I'm going to come back and just put the cabbage leaves in. And then I'm going to allow it to cook. Now, I'm just adding some salt to taste. Now, unlike my beans, with my beans, I don't add salt because beans will split. You know, beans will split if you're adding salt. But with my greens, I'll go ahead and add salt because it won't do anything to it. Now, I do have a pot that's over here. And what I'm going to do is a pot of boiling water. I'm just going to add my sweet potatoes to the pot. It takes 4 sweet potatoes like this to make 3 sweet potato pies. So I'm going to add this to the pot. Okay? And it's just boiling water. And I cook my sweet potatoes with my hose on. And the reason why I cook them with the hose on is because it's easier for me to peel to take off. I add just a little bit of salt to the water. And instead of me cooking 3 sweet potato pies, my grandson loves my sweet potato pies, so I got 1 more potato here. I'm just going to go ahead and throw it in because you can freeze sweet potato pies. And a lot of people don't know that you can freeze that for up to 6 months. The store does it, so you can do it. Okay, now back to this pot. Okay, everything is cooking up and it has a very good smell or aroma coming from the pot. Okay, so I'm going to take out half of that and I'm going to put my greens in, half of my greens in, and then I'm going to put a layer of it back on top. And I'm just going to cook my greens like that. This smells good because I know you can imagine how onions and green peppers and bacon smells together. And this is a lot. Like I told you, I got a lot of company coming for Thanksgiving. I mean, they're going to be eating all over everywhere. So I'm going to make certain that I have it in here for them to eat too. So I'm going to put that down. Now I got like just a little layer left. Take out just a little bit more. And now I'm going to put my greens in. Now you know it don't take long for greens to start cooking up, and once they cook up, they're going to shrink. So the only thing else I'm going to do is to add another layer, once it shrinks down, another layer of the bacon, the onions, and the green peppers, and I'm going to continue to alternate as it shrinks until I get this pot full. And I'm going to get back to you. The only thing I'm going to add a little bit of neck bones. But the reason why I'm going to add a little bit of neck bones is because I like them. You don't have to do that. So I'm going to put them in. I've already cleaned and washed them. And once this cooks, then I'm going to get back to you. I'll probably come back in the middle and just show you how it is cooking up, or I may wait till the end. We'll see. Anyway, I'll be back.